Hi all, hope you can hear me through this wind. Sorry I haven't been around much. I fell kind of back into my old patterns of being the person that I was. I don't know if you can see me very well. And I've kind of shaken myself out of that and decided to make some more videos and become the person that I want to be. So today, I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this video. I think my face is a bit dark, I can't see really what's going on. Is that better? That's better. So I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video. I guess you'll know by the time it goes out. It's mainly about narcissism, about narcissistic mindset that we can use to our own benefit. It sounds like a bit of a bold statement or something very weird to say, but I believe my wife's death was primarily caused by a narcissist, and I understand this narcissist's mindset, if you like, and the way that we can use that for our own benefit. We can change memories that we have. A narcissist seems to change memories that they have in their head to benefit their own agenda, their own peace of mind. They get peace of mind by changing memories that they have, the things that they've done, the lives that they've destroyed. They've changed the memories inside their head so they don't have to face the consequences of their actions. And we can do that to a certain extent. You know, if you have memories that are particularly bad, maybe you're guilty over something, suffering with depression, anxiety, we can change that the same way a narcissist does. Hi guys, reason for today's video is this kind of information is something that I wish I had about a year ago. So I wanted to give you a rundown of my experience with a narcissist, who I believe, again, as I mentioned in the intro, is responsible basically for my wife's demise. Now, would Carol still be here if we had never met this person? I have no idea. Of course, I can't answer that question, but the truth of the matter is that certain things that this person did brought out certain qualities of my wife, which led to her not being here anymore. This video is about what is a narcissist, what are the traits of a narcissist, and how can you protect yourself against this kind of person in your life, whether it be a friend or even a family member. Of course, I can't answer that question, but the truth of the matter is that certain things that this person did brought out certain qualities of my wife, which led to her not being here anymore. This video is about what is a narcissist, what are the traits of a narcissist, and how can you protect yourself against this kind of person in your life, whether it be a friend or even a family member. So you don't have to go through what I went through. Now, what I went through was an extreme, and I hope that nobody ever goes through what I went through, but you know, it happens, unfortunately, and this channel is about my experience with grief, and this is a massive part of it. So the traits of a narcissist. A narcissist will always take advantage of other people to achieve their own goals, and regardless of what it costs that other person. Of course, it cost Carol her life, and I'm not I'm not saying that this person went out to kill Carol, because obviously she didn't, but that was the end result, having no thought or consequences of their actions on other people. They lack empathy completely with other people. They one of the biggest traits that I found with a narcissist was their ability to turn any kind of situation in front of other people and make themselves out to be a victim. That's a big quality of a narcissist. And then on top of, so other people look at them as poor them. This person, stature, she was quite a petite person, very wealthy person, and everybody was, oh, poor her, when the reality of it is she's smiling behind that frown or those fake tears, because she's completely unable, or they're completely unable to empathise on the situation of what they've done to somebody else, because it doesn't suit them. It doesn't come into it. Other people's emotions don't come into their mindset. They don't care. They don't care as long as the person they can use is still of use. They will always have that person in their life, and they will always see themselves as a victim. A narcissist will always have excessive feelings of self-importance. They will always see themselves as the centre of everybody's universe. And they get people running around after them because of that fact. A narcissist is kind of preoccupied with fantasies of success or power, beauty, intelligence, or love. That Carol was caught in this kind of. This person had a relationship with another person, and Carol was kind of caught in the middle, trying to negotiate for both people, a bit, and so. Unfortunately, Carol was very empathic, and I think she understood this person, but it's very hard for me to talk about this without going into detail that I don't want to talk about. Carol was a pleaser. She loved to please, and she was kind of brought into this lifestyle of this wealthy lifestyle, financially wealthy lifestyle, and was kind of seduced by that, and so she wouldn't say no. And this narcissist knew this and saw this as a trait and something that she could use to her benefit, and did, and became a go-between, because this narcissist had this fantasy about this other person, and Carol got stuck in the middle of it, and it just wore her down basically, and Carol couldn't say no, and it carried going on and on and on. What's her unreasonable expectations of favourable treatment, and that goes hand in hand with what I've just said, and Carol fell hook, line and sinker for that one, and was unable to pull herself out of it because of the need for a narcissist needs constant attention, and Carol was just the person that would give that attention. As I say, previously she couldn't say no, and that's a trait for a narcissist, is complete constant attention needed. A narcissist will pursue mainly selfish goals. They're very good liars, and so they'll tell you one thing and do something completely the other, as long as it is in their interest for them and them alone. React to criticism well, they don't react to criticism very well at all. It's it'll either be with shame and poor me, back to the being a victim, or complete outrage. And a narcissist can be quite vicious in their face in the face of criticism. A narcissist will always exaggerate their achievements and talents. This particular person did completely that. As I said, she's quite a very wealthy person, and would constantly tell stories of how she made massive amounts of money here and massive amounts of money there. But the matter of fact was, Daddy gave her all her money, and nobody knew that, and it was something that none of us ever found out until the very end, until after Carol had passed, that this person was given her money, and Carol was brought in by the so-called power of this woman, because of her ability to make substantial amounts of money on her own as a kind of independent woman, shall we say. And nothing could have been further from the truth. Unfortunately, Carol never found that out. A narcissist will always deny flaws in themselves, and will put the blame on others, and that all these traits point to a narcissist. You can't. It's for me, if I have a flaw, which I do, everybody does, then I'll quite openly admit it and say, yeah, look, I can't do that. I've never done it before. I don't know how to do it, or I've done this wrong, or I admit to doing that wrong. But a narcissist won't do that. They won't take any kind of responsibility for their actions, and will always blame others. How you can use what I've learnt in dealing with a narcissist to be able to benefit your own lives. Now, you don't have to go around hurting people, but there's a narcissist has a particular mindset. They actually believe the lies that they tell. They build new memories around certain situations and then project that into their life, and then go around telling everybody else this falsehood, and literally believe what they have to say. They literally do believe what they say. So if a situation happened, they will manipulate that situation. Either it didn't happen or it didn't happen that way, and they believe it. They say it over and over and over again inside their heads, and are able to then project themselves as being the victim, or they project themselves as being the good guy, or it didn't actually happen that way, and they believe it. And that's quite powerful, because then they're able to move on with their life with absolutely no guilt, shame, or responsibility for what they've done. But they're also able to have the life that they want, because they've changed their mind, they've changed their belief. And you can do exactly the same thing, but without obviously hurting people. So that's something that I also want to go into at the end of the video, is how you can help yourself by analysing the mindset of a narcissist and being able to use that in your own life in the law of attraction kind of way, to bring about things that you want in your day, that you want to manifest in your life. So what can you do to protect yourself against a narcissist? Well, self-confidence is one. You should be totally confident in yourself and have a good self-esteem, but don't try and go toe-to-toe with a narcissist, because it's absolutely pointless. There's no, you will not win in that respect. But able to keep your confidence up and have high self-esteem in that kind of situation will set you apart from them. Keep your guard up, all right? Don't divulge any kind of information that the narcissist can use, personal information, stuff that embarrasses you, stuff that you've done in the past that you're ashamed of. something, anything like that, keep that to yourself. Don't disclose that to a narcissist, because they will use that against you. Number one, right, if you have a narcissist in your life, the best thing you can do is get them out of your life. That's easier said than done. Sometimes it could be a family member, and you can't do that. So if you can't ignore them, if you can't keep them away from you, if you can't keep them away from you, then ignore them if you can. Have nothing to do with them, because they will add no value to your life. Very difficult if it's a family member. So learn to spot projection. If they're trying to project something onto you, then pull them on it immediately. Or you need to say something like, you're projecting your own faults onto me again. Pull them on it straight away. Don't let them get away with it. The more you do that, the less they're likely to find you an easy target, and they will move on to someone else. Learn how to distinguish insincere compliments. A narcissist will try to flatter you. If they keep telling you that you're this or you're that, and it's a compliment, for a narcissist there'll always be an ulterior motive behind it. So learn to distinguish the real from the fake. Never rely on a narcissist. Don't trust their promises, because they will near enough always be empty, unless they've got something major to gain from keeping their promise. It won't happen. So take it with a pinch of salt. Learn to set boundaries. A narcissist will always monopolize your time, and that was something that Carol fell foul of. She would be sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning getting phone calls, and Carol would jump in a cab to go and help. And that was the way Carol was. She was a loving, caring, giving person, but she fell victim to this person. Don't just go along with things because you don't want them to think you're not a nice person. Carol was a people pleaser, so she didn't want people to think that she wasn't a nice person. So she would go along with pretty much everything, and you can't do that with a narcissist. They will take complete control of you. You don't need to get into any kind of contest with a narcissist. They're stubborn. If you're stubborn and need to hold your ground when you feel you're right, you have to understand that you're going to be starting a war, and some narcissists are quite nasty people, and so don't bother. It's really not worth it. And for me, the best thing you can do when confronted with a narcissist is to remain present, be in the present moment. Don't be pulled into project yourself into the future or remember the past. This is what they want. Stay very present, grounded, and in the moment, and regardless of what they say or do, it won't affect you. So onto the actual real juicy bit about this video is, how can you use their mindset to benefit your life? What a narcissist does, what I found they do, is that they manipulate their own situations in their head. So let's say, for instance, you have a situation with a narcissist and it goes very badly. How can I put this without giving... See, I really want to talk about it, but I can't. I've promised I wouldn't. A situation a narcissist will, in their own head, a narcissist's memories are pliable. For us, when we have a memory, that's how it happened. It happened this way, and you'll keep living it over and over and over again. With a narcissistic mindset and their memory, they're able to change their memory. Quite literally, I believe. that it didn't happen this way, it happened that way. And then they're able to feel better about it. Narcissists don't necessarily, they're not like psychopaths. They do have emotion, and they are able to look back at a time in their life and go, I did that wrong, and oh my God, this person is now dead because of my actions. So what they do is, the memory is, they'll change it. They'll say, well, I never actually did that, I did this. And so this narcissist has actually blamed Carol for the narcissist's behaviour, which is completely out of context of what actually happened. And she'll say that to herself over and over and over, and she'll replay it over and over and over again in her head until it becomes her reality. Then she tells other people that reality, and then it comes back to her being the victim as opposed to being the perpetrator of said situation. And so you can do exactly the same thing. So maybe you've had a situation in your past that you feel guilty about, or something that happened that you feel depressed about or anxious about, or it affects your present moment, or it affects your personality in a way that you don't want it. You've changed and you're unhappy because of it. Go back to that time and change a little bit of it, and say it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I'm not saying that there's a difference between you and the narcissist. Is you will know what you did was wrong, and a narcissistic karmic debt, I could imagine, would be something that I wouldn't want to have to carry around with me for how many other lifetimes I'm on this planet for. But that doesn't mean that you know right from wrong. You know what you did back then wasn't right. You're not going to do it again. You've learned from that experience, but you feel bad about it. But so if you change it a little bit in your mind over and over and over again, so it's not so painful. And that's how I believe we manifest in our life. But people say you have to think about having that money, you have to really imagine you having that soulmate in your life, that perfect partner, that perfect job, and relive it over and over and over again. What I believe you have to do is you have to make memories of having that money. You have to make memories of having that perfect soulmate. You must have memories of having that perfect job, even though they don't exist right at this moment. You have to build memories in your mind of that actually happening. And that's what a narcissist does. They change their memories to suit their own agenda. And there's nothing saying that you can't do exactly the same thing to manifest your dream life. I'm not saying going around hurting people. You're not going to do that because that's not you. But manifestation isn't about imagining this happening. It's about building memories of that happening. Okay? And then it gets put into the subconscious mind, then it gets put out into the universe, and then you'll see the physical manifestation of that happening around you, in front of your very eyes. So a narcissist builds memories. Fake memories. There's nothing saying that you can't build fake memories to build the life that you want to build. I hope this has been helpful to you and somehow made some kind of sense in this whole jumbled video. I've tried to do my best to put it together. It's very painful for me to talk about, but it's an extremely important part of my life, and I just want it. It's an extremely important part of this whole process of my wife dying, and that's what this video is about. And if you can get something from it, just a little bit, to either be able to spot a narcissist, to be able to defend yourself against a narcissist, or to be able to use the narcissistic mindset to be able to manifest the life of your dreams. Nothing saying you can't do that. So again, thanks for watching, and I shall speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.